personal growth to business solutions, there is no limit to what you can imagine. It's time to reimagine banking. Centenary Bank, our bank.
Hello and a warm welcome to the main news here on Luntha TV. We are broadcasting live from the Bishop Navy Media Center here in the capital, Lilongwe. I'm Kathy Matura. First, we give you the headlines. Pope Francis reiterates his appeal for Catholic believers to experience the joy that Jesus' disciples experienced. Chakwera names 30 billion kwacha Palombe District Hospital after John Chilembwe. Association of Persons with Albinism in Malawi distributes fertilizer to albinism families to tackle hunger. On the international scene, Mauritius shuts schools in anticipation of cyclone impact. Now the news in detail. Pope Francis reiterates his appeal for Catholic believers to experience the joy that Jesus' disciples experienced. At the Angelus prayer, Pope Francis encouraged Catholic faithfuls across the world to renew their joy as disciples of the Lord. He then recalled how the first apostles went out looking for the Lord and upon finding him shared their joys with others. Here is a Vatican News report read by Charity Chilanga.
In his customary reflections before leading the Angelus prayer on Sunday, Pope Francis spoke about the encounter of the first disciples in meeting Jesus as recounted in John's Gospel. He said being a disciple of the Lord involves seeking, being with and sharing with others our joy in discovering him, just as the first disciples did in discovering the Messiah. According to the Holy Father, seeking the Lord, the two disciples in today's Gospel are asked by Jesus upon encountering him what they are seeking, and this question invites them to look at what they carry in their hearts and what they truly desire. The Lord, he added, does not want superficial followers, but who question themselves and let themselves be challenged by his word. The Pope continued by saying, being with the Lord in meeting and discovering the Messiah, God's anointed one, the disciples ask the Lord where he lives, and they are invited by the Lord to come and see. The Pope concluded by saying, telling others the powerful experience of meeting Jesus leads to the disciples to share with others their joy and the gift of this experience.
All Africa Conference Sister to Sister AACSS, a Roman Catholic Church group, has requested the Malawian government to come up with long-term plans to strengthen the resilience of cyclone survivors. AACSS Senior Program Officer Sister Enelis Jimbali from the Congregation of Servants of the Blessed Virgin Mary, SBVM, says Malawi is not faring well in the aftermath of Cyclone Freddy because many survivors are still traumatized and lacking basic necessities. She made the remarks in Lilongwe earlier today during the launch of a 4-day advocacy training program organized by AACSS. Bridget Manoka reports.
Despite receiving aid from other nations, Sister Chimbali claims that little has been done to recover from the disastrous Cyclone Freddy, given that the affected districts continue to experience problems with food, housing, and mobility, to name a few. She says in order for well-wishers to provide assistance, the government needs to be transparent and inform Malawians if they lack resources.
We hope to alert the government that there's something that needs to be done. Okay, we want them to respond. If they don't have resources, let them come to the open and tell the people that we don't have resources. And then maybe some well wishers can come to our aid. Because it's so sad to see people starving today after almost a year. It's very sad anyway.
Sister Agnes Jonasi, the chairperson of the Association of Women Religious Institute in Malawi, Awirim, stated in her remarks that the purpose of the training is to provide the involved parties with advocacy skills so that they can effectively work with the government and other stakeholders to lessen the suffering of the affected.
Well, currently we are training stakeholders in advocacy. What we have discovered is that what we have done so far is not enough. And we want to believe that the government can do much more from where we left. So we want our stakeholders to be advocacy for the marginalized, for the poor, for the needy. They should be able to talk to the government and make them aware of how these people are suffering and what else they can do.
ASIS encourages and assists women religious in sub-Saharan Africa in their efforts to address new needs, educate the public, and motivate them to take shared responsibility for a world in need of compassion and healing. Sister Juliet Jingambo from the Congregation of Sister of Child Jesus is the country coordinator for Sister to Sister in Zambia.
I'm privileged that Sister Endless, the senior program officer for Sister to Sister, has been sharing with us what's going on here on the ground for the people of Malawi. It's identifying the stakeholders who you can partner with to work in order to bring back the freedom that people are crying for. And also, it's not one man's show. Even the sisters themselves in different dioceses, I don't know if you call them branches, where you can identify the sisters also to participate actively, and the church should be involved.
ASIS is present in Zimbabwe, Malawi, Zambia, Nigeria, Cameroon, and Uganda. Membership in the organization is open to women religious and partners who work together internationally to better the lives of others and develop their leadership potential in the church and society. The organization has been providing relief supplies and psychological support to survivors of Tropical Cyclone Freddy in a variety of methods as of late. This is Bridget Mwanonka for Luntha News.
Malawi President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has directed that the 30 billion Malawi Kwacha Palombe District Hospital be renamed after the revolutionary John Chilembwe. Chakwera sounded the directive on Monday, January 15, 2024, when he led Malawians in commemorating Chilembwe Day at the Providence Industrial Mission (PIM) in Chiradzulu District. The day was set aside to remember the selfless spirit of Reverend Chilembwe, who led an uprising against white supremacy in the pursuit for freedom for indigenous Malawians. More in this report by Herbert Katanda.
Speaking during the ceremony, Chakwera said the move is a gesture to honor the fallen hero for a rare bravado he showed in steering the act of plucking the country out of the whites' supremacy. He said Chilembwe, who founded Providence Industrial Mission, should set a good example to every citizen who has Malawi at heart.
Zambali imeneyi yodzipereka nsembe tikhalenso ni gawo mdera limeneli chifukwa chitsime cha madzi sichilimba pamudzi ngati aliyense mtima wake ngongofuna azingokhalira kutunga madziwo koma wosathandiza kukumba chitsime chija osathandiza kusamalira chitsimecho. Pamafunika pazikhala nzika zina zimene ziganiza modzipereka ngati nsembe kugwira ntchito yoonetsetsa kuti chitsime chija chikusamalidwa, chikukonzedwa kuti chisaonongeke, ndipo chikaonongeka chikonzedwe mwamsanga kuti aliyense asadandaule za madzi. Munda wachimanga sungalimbe pamudzi pamene aliyense angoganiza zokolola.
On his part, PIM President Reverend Wilson Mitambo said they will always embrace the rock that was established by Chilembwe. He disclosed that plans are in pipeline to establish a university under the Providence Industrial Mission in Chiladzulu district.
About this year theme, which says, enlarge our territories, Lord, from 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verses 9 to 10. This theme requests each one of us to make an assessment of our weaknesses and start doing the best we can. Malawians cannot enjoy freedom and peace that Reverend John Chirembwe and the other foreign heroes fought for if there is no love and unity in our country. It is my appeal to all churches and political parties in our country to love one another and work together for God to extend our territories.
John Nkolongo Chirembwe was a Baptist pastor, educator, and revolutionary who trained as a minister in the United States. He returned to Malawi, which was called Nyasaland by the time, in 1901. Chirembwe became an airy figure in the resistance of colonialism in Nyasaland, opposing both the treatment of Africans working in agriculture on European-owned plantations and the colonial government's failure to promote social and political advancement of Africans. For Luntha News, in Lilongwe, I'm Helbert Katanda.
At least 1,000 households from Kasungu East have on Sunday been bailed out of the acute hunger for some days following the Department of Disaster Management Dodma's relief maize distribution in the area. Here is Robert Edward giving us more.
According to the registrator for Kasungu East, who is the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Madaliso Gazombo, the villagers are now being encouraged to embrace irrigation farming and animal rearing, including milk production, to combat hunger that is caused by climate change. He says this is because the status quo in his constituency came following hailstorms that destroyed people's crops and fields.
To make a heavy request to the authorities. And today, that's why you've seen we are distributing maize to over 1,000 people, and we are continuing this program. So indeed, the assistance has come at the right time. That's why we are all grateful to the President for the support to the people of Kasungu East constituency under Senior Chief Wimbe.
Senior Chief Wimbe, representative during the maize distribution senior group Kambwira Mungo, describes this as a bailout for his people, saying more than 10,000 households also need to be assisted.
There is serious hunger because of the hailstorm that devastated a lot of fields, affecting tobacco, soya, and even maize, though some tried to harvest a little. We were devastated. Even when the minister came and visited, still there was no problem, but now I think it's better.
It is estimated that the hailstorm devastated crops of nearly 20,000 people, with Malawi Vulnerability Assessment MVAC report estimating that over 4 million people in the country will be food insecure. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
This is News Live on Luntha TV. We take a short break. Stay with us.
According to the registrator for Kasungu East, who is
kagwiritsidwe ntchito ka grow-based fertilizer ndi masungunulidwe ake. Ngati chimanga simunadzale, mugwiritsa ntchito kachivindikiro kena kalikonse ka 5 ml monga ka Yes Energy Drink, Froze kapena Mojo, kamene katimasungunula ndi madzi okwana 1 lita, koma kachivindikiro ka grow-based fertilizer ndi 15 ml, kamene katimasungunula ndi madzi okwana 3 liters, amene ali mabotolo atatu a 1 lita. Ngati chimanga chikudzalidwa mawa, pezani pelo kapena beseni ndi mulingo wa madzi monga ndafotokozeramo, ndiye kuti mudzadza grow-based fertilizer mukachivindikiro ka 5 ml kapena ka 15 ml. Musungunula madzi omwe mutavike chimanga. Choncho onetsetsani kuti chimanga chamira. Chilekeni chigone momo. Mawa mupita kukadzala. Mukamaliza kudzala, madzi a fertilizer munavikira chimangawo mukhoza kuthira mtimapando mmene mwadzala chimangamo momwe angakwanire. Apa tidikira chimanga chituluke, ndipo chituluka chonse cha mphamvu ngati munalibemo chimanga chowola. Chikafika masamba atatu, tidzagwiritsa ntchito sprayer. Tizikapopera m'masamba nthawi ya mmawa kulekeza 8 koloko. Ngati ali madzulo, tizikapopera kuyambira 4 koloko mpaka nakamdima. Onetsetsani kuti masamba onse anyowa kufikira pa tsinde. Tikatero tidikira milungu iwiri amene ali masiku 14. Tidzapitanso nthawi ya mmawa kulekeza 8 koloko kapena madzulo kuyambira 4 koloko. Masungunulidwe ndi omwe aja, koma tafika apa tikapopera pakati pa chimanga paja pamakhala kabowo paja, komanso masamba onse akuyenera kunyowa kufikira madzi atatsetsereka mpaka na patsinde. Tikatero tamaliza. Ikakhala nthawi ya mvula, tikapopera pakuyenera papite maola 4 kapena 4 hours mvula isanayambe kugwa.
Welcome to St. Teresa Private Nursery and Primary Schools, a place of excellency to your child's future. The enrollment is in progress for 2024, which is for the baby class, middle class, and reception for nursery, and then primary classes for standard 1 to standard 5. Bring your child to St. Teresa School because it is a good education environment for your child. It has good qualified and experienced teachers. Outdoor games are organized by Teresian sisters. The school offers suitable academic programs for your children that prepare them to be good and honest citizens of the society. A school bus is available. The school is located in Lilongwe, taking Bunda Teno off-road after police roadblock, and there you see a signpost to your left. For more information, call 0885 415 740, 0990 792 111, or 0996 251 144, or better come in person. St. Teresa Primary School, the best school for your child.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Luntha TV News and I'm Kathy Matura. But before we proceed, here is a recap of the top stories. Pope Francis reiterates his appeal for Catholic believers to experience the joy that Jesus' disciples experienced. Chakwera names 30 billion kwacha Palombe District Hospital after John Chilembwe. Association of Persons with Albinism in Malawi distributes fertilizer to albinism families to tackle hunger. On the international scene, Mauritius shuts schools in anticipation of cyclone impact. Moving on, the Association of Persons with Albinism in Malawi, APAM, has begun distributing fertilizer to a chosen group of its members' families in an effort to alleviate their hunger as a result of a shortage of agricultural inputs. In his speech to APAM members at Chinsapo in Lilongwe, APAM President Yang Muhamba stated that the majority of the members live in extreme poverty and cannot afford to purchase agricultural inputs on their own due to economic hardships. Jacqueline Saidi filed this report.
The arrival of the rains has relieved some of the concerns surrounding this year's farming activities due to climate issues. However, some farmers feel that challenges related to farm inputs are impeding their progress. The Association of Persons with Albinism in Malawi Secretariat has stepped in to supervise member security throughout harvest season, since certain members have been impacted by poverty and rising fertilizer costs. APAM obtained fertilizers from government under the Nation Action Plan and delivered them to some of the association's members. Speaking in an interview following the distribution exercise, President of APAM, Yang Muhamba, said much as they cannot support every single member or household, the few households that are expected to benefit from the initiative will be saved. He went further to urge the beneficiaries not to sell out the fertilizer, but to use it wisely so that they can be food secure.
Yes, as we already know that persons of albinism continue to face various forms of discriminations and inequalities, which hinders them access to basic social services and the economic status of persons with albinism in Malawi. It's very, very impoverished. So this is the farming season, as you can see. So what happens is that as a result of that poor economic status, you find that most of them are unable to buy fertilizers or even the seedlings for the farming season. So we saw it that it is very important that we should cushion them during this season to ensure that there is food security among a few households. Yes, we know that this kind of assistance will not be able to reach each.
One of the beneficiaries, Lucia John, a mother to 5 children with albinism, expressed gratitude towards the support.
Things are difficult. I'm having a really hard time raising the kids. I'm really appreciative to APAM for helping us get this fertilizer today. I'm farming on a little plot of land, and this fertilizer will help me increase my produce.
APAM has since called for more support to help some more of its members, saying that more than 9,000 are in poverty state. The initiative has been launched in Lilongwe, where 8 households have benefited, and it will be extended to the districts of Mzuzu, Mangochi, Ncheu, and Chiladzulu. For Luntha Television News, this is Jacqueline Saidi.
The Electricity Generation Company of Malawi Limited, EGENGO, says it has concluded maintenance works that it was undertaking at Nkula B. A statement by EGENGO says this will effectively end outage of both Nkula A and B power stations. The maintenance works followed a nationwide power outage on the 9th of January 2024, which was reported by the electricity provider ESCOM. Bernard Mwanza filed this report.
The outage and the maintenance works led the Electricity Supply Corporation of Malawi, ESCOM, to implement a load-shedding program to manage the power supply deficit over the weekend. According to Ijenko, Nkula B dislodged intake screens have been replaced successfully and that the inspection of main inlet valve, MIV, for machine number 4 was successful and led to the discovery of a huge tree that was stuck under the MIV, making it impossible to operate. The statement says, as at midnight, all machines at both stations were back online and normalization was complete. On Sunday, Minister of Energy Ibrahim Matola visited the site to check on the progress of the works and ensure that they were completed on time. Writing on his Facebook page, Matola said he was happy to see the operations being completed before time and thanked the commitment and dedication demonstrated by the Genco team. Nkula B station is the first major hydropower station in Malawi, which comprises of Nkula A with 3 machines and Nkula B with 5 machines with a total generation capacity of 135 megawatts. The last machine at Nkula A was commissioned in 1966, whereas the last machine at Nkula B was commissioned in 1992. Earlier this year, Genco also took maintenance works at its Tedzani hydropower station, which Genco said were essential for smooth trash racking operations at the power station's intake in order to prevent things that can damage power generation equipment. This is Bernard Mwanza.
The Truck Drivers Association, TDA, and Professional Drivers Union, PDU, have jointly threatened to go on a countrywide strike should the Ministry of Labour fail to implement the agreed upon 300,000 Malawi kwacha minimum salary by January 31st, 2024. The delegation, led by MacDonald Chilanga, a representative of the Professional Drivers Union, and Vice President Francis Mkandawire of the Truck Drivers Association, feels that their meeting with Presidential Advisor on Politics, Ephraim Jivunde, on October 16, 2023, was fruitless because their resolutions have not been delivered on. Bridget Manoka reports.
In response to their unresolved salary and welfare issues, the Professional Drivers Union of Malawi and the Truck Drivers Union of Malawi have issued this severe warning. Francis Mkandawire, the Vice President of TDA, claims that on October 16, 2023, they met with Presidential Advisor on Politics Ephraim Chivunde and representatives from the Transporters Union of Malawi, and during that meeting, they decided that their minimum salary of 300,000 kwacha would be gazetted by January 1st, 2024. However, that day never came.
The thing was that we were promised that we'll be having a meeting before December. That was in October when we had our meeting to end the strike. But from October up to this year, January, there's no meeting which has taken place. So we obviously know that something behind is taking place. So we are pretty sure that that's what is on the ground. It's not just a rumor. It's exactly what's planned. So it's just a planned thing. We know it's there.
The Professional Drivers Union representative, MacDonald Hiranga, claims that the ministry is in violation of the settlement from the previous year.
Yeah, obviously, there will be a lot of challenges. And the main challenge we cannot hide. That means, obviously, we have a strike in Malawi, which was not supposed to be. But it's like they're inviting us to go on strike. So it is simple, just to bring the grievances we raised on table so that we agree everything, then we go ahead.
If their plan succeeds, Malawians should prepare for possible delays in freight and transportation throughout the work stoppage. When we contacted the Ministry of Labour, they were not available for comment. Bridget Manoka, Luntha News.
In international news, schools have been closed in Mauritius amid predictions of heavy rains that could result in flooding. The nearby French island of Reunion was on Monday placed on the highest cyclone alert level after it was hit by the powerful tropical cyclone Bilal. Here is a BBC report read by Cherry Chilanga in our studios.
Authorities have warned the residents to stay indoors, and emergency services are no longer authorized to intervene. The extreme weather conditions have caused fatalities in both Reunion and Mauritius. The body of a homeless man was found in the resort village of St. Gilles in Reunion's west coast, shortly before the cyclone alert was upgraded from red to purple on Monday. In the Mauritian village of Baie du Tombeau, a 75-year-old man drowned on Sunday. Two survivors faced the storm at sea in La Prenus in western Mauritius. One reached the coast while the other was missing.
That BBC report on the western Indian island of Mauritius brings us to the end of the bulletin. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. Pope Francis reiterates his appeal for Catholic believers to experience the joy that Jesus' disciples experienced. Chakwera names 30 billion kwacha Palombe District Hospital after John Chilembwe. Association of Persons with Albinism in Malawi distributes fertilizer to albinism families to tackle hunger. On the international scene, Mauritius shuts schools in anticipation of cyclone impact. It was great bringing you the news. Kathy Matura is my name. From myself and the rest of the news crew at Luntha TV, thank you for choosing us and goodbye for now.